ඔබයාලත් නිවුස් ෆස්ට් විශේෂ ප්‍රවෘත්ති සමගින් එක්වන්නේ එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ මානව හිමිකම් කවුන්සිලයට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාව මේ ටික වේලාවකට කලින් සම්මත වුණා. එම යෝජනාවලියට පක්ෂව ඡන්ද 24ක් ප්‍රකාශ වුණා. ඊට විරුද්ධව ඡන්ද 15ක් ලැබුණා. රටවල් 8ක් මේ යෝජනාවට ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකී සිටියා. විශේෂයෙන් NDTV මාධ්‍යමයට ටික වේලාවකට පෙර වාර්තා කර කියා සිටියේ ඉන්දියාව මෙහිදී මෙම යෝජනාවලියට පක්ෂව ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කළ බවයි. ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවට පක්ෂව ඉන්දියාව ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කළ බව NDTV ප්‍රවෘත්ති සේවය මීට ටික වේලාවකට කලින් වාර්තා කළා. මේ වන විට ඡන්ද විමසීම සිදු වී අවසන්. රටවල් 24ක් ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවට පක්ෂවත්, රටවල් 15ක් විරුද්ධවත් ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කළා. රටවල් 8ක් මේ යෝජනාවට ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකී සිටියා.
ஐக்கிய நாடுகள் சபையின் 19வது மனிதுரிமைகள் பேரவையிலே இலங்கை தொடர்பாக அமெரிக்கா கொண்டு வந்துள்ள பிரேரணை தொடர்பான தகவல்களை உங்களுக்கு நாங்கள் வழங்கியிருந்தோம். அமெரிக்கா இலங்கை தொடர்பிலே கொண்டு வந்துள்ள பிரேரணைக்கு ஆதரவாக 24 வாக்குகள் அளிக்கப்பட்டிருந்தன. இந்த பிரேரணைக்கு எதிராக 15 வாக்குகள் அளிக்கப்பட்டிருந்தன. அதே சந்தர்ப்பத்திலே 8 நாடுகள் இந்த பிரேரணை தொடர்பான வாக்களிப்பிலே கலந்து கொள்ளவில்லை என்பதையும் நாங்கள் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறோம். சற்று நேரத்துக்கு முன்னர் NDTV இலங்கை தொடர்பாக ஐக்கிய நாடுகள் சபையினுடைய மனித உரிமைகள் பேரவையிலே அமெரிக்கா கொண்டு வந்துள்ள அந்த பிரேரணை தொடர்பான ஒரு தகவலை வெளியிட்டிருந்தது. அமெரிக்கா கொண்டு வந்துள்ள பிரேரணைக்கு இந்தியா ஆதரவாக வாக்களித்திருந்ததாக NDTVயினுடைய அந்த செய்தியிலே தெரிவிக்கப்பட்டிருந்தது. இலங்கை தொடர்பாக அமெரிக்காவினால் ஐக்கிய நாடுகள் சபையிலே கொண்டு வரப்பட்ட பிரேரணைக்கு இந்தியா ஆதரவாக வாக்களித்திருந்ததாக NDTVயினுடைய அந்த செய்தியிலே குறிப்பிடப்பட்டிருந்தது. ஆக மொத்தத்திலே அமெரிக்கா இலங்கை தொடர்பாக கொண்டு வந்துள்ள இந்த பிரேரணைக்கு ஆதரவாக 24 வாக்குகளும் எதிராக 15 வாக்குகளும் 8 நாடுகள் இந்த வாக்களிப்பிலே கலந்து கொள்ளவில்லை என்பதையும் இந்த சந்தர்ப்பத்திலே நாங்கள் குறிப்பிடுகிறோம்.
The resolution brought on Sri Lanka by the United States of America was passed at the 19th session of the UNHRC in Geneva, Switzerland. According to reports, 24 countries voted for the resolution, while 15 countries voted against the resolution and 8 countries abstained from voting. According to India's NDTV, India has voted in favor of the resolution that was brought on Sri Lanka at the 19th United Nations Human Rights Sessions in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, head of the Sri Lankan delegation, Minister Mahinda Samarasinha, made this statement at the United Nations Human Rights Council session in Geneva when the resolution was taken up today.
I thank you for this opportunity, and I also thank the delegation of Cuba and China for the kind sentiments expressed on behalf of Sri Lanka during the course of this general comment debate. Madam President, many in this council would agree that Sri Lanka has been a role model of consistently and unambiguously engaging with everyone in the council, not just on this occasion but over the years. This engagement has been voluntary and was not restricted to a period in the aftermath of the conflict, but occurred even during the height of the long drawn-out armed conflict against one of the worst manifestations of terrorism. This transparent policy of sharing information has been out of a sense of responsibility as a member of the base of a systematic and organized campaign aimed at distorting and misinforming this council and the outside world of the situation in Sri Lanka. May I assure you, Madam President, that we will continue to actively engage. Despite this exemplary interaction, Sri Lanka has been selectively targeted by certain countries at the behest of some whom we believe still bear resentment at the clear and decisive decision taken at the special session of 2009. This attempt to undermine the resolution of 2009 is unacceptable, especially because of the continuing improvement in Sri Lanka during the intervening period. A resolution that dwells on the past will impose on this council the character of an adjudicatory body with no limitation as to its competence to reopen and revisit matters of the past, which could have consequences affecting many parties. Those who live in glass houses, Madam President, are best advised to exercise caution before throwing stones. Madam President, we are a nation proud of our history, heritage, and values as much as any other nation state in this council and outside. We take our responsibilities as a member of the international community very seriously, and needless to say, are more concerned about ensuring sustainable peace and reconciliation and further promoting the unity of our nation that is multicultural, multilingual, multi-religious and multi-ethnic in its composition.
That was head of the Sri Lankan delegation, Minister Mahinda Samarasinga, making a statement at the UN Human Rights Council session in Geneva, Switzerland, when the resolution on Sri Lanka was brought up for discussion at the sessions. Now, 24 countries voted for the resolution that was brought by the United States on Sri Lanka, while 15 countries voted against the resolution and 8 countries abstained from voting. According to NDTV, India has voted in favor of the resolution that was brought on Sri Lanka at the UNHRC sessions in Geneva, Switzerland. Gokul?
இலங்கை தொடர்பில் ஐக்கிய நாடுகள் சபையினுடைய மனிதுரிமைகள் பேரவையிலே கொண்டு வரப்பட்டுள்ள பிரேரணை தொடர்பாக இலங்கையினுடைய பிரதிநிதிகள் குழுவினுடைய தலைவர் அமைச்சர் மஹிந்த சமரசிங்க கருத்து வெளியிட்டிருந்தார். அதன்போது அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார், சர்வதேச நாடுகளில் ஓர் அங்கத்துவ நாடு என்ற வகையில் நிலைத்திருக்கின்ற சமாதானத்தையும் நல்லிணக்கத்தையும் ஏற்படுத்துவது தங்களுடைய குறிக்கோள் என்று அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். அது மாத்திரமன்றி இந்த கற்றுக்கொண்ட பாடங்கள் மற்றும் நல்லிணக்க ஆணைக்குழுவினால் வழங்கப்பட்ட அந்த அறிக்கையில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பரிந்துரைகளை நடைமுறைப்படுத்துவதற்கான கால அவகாசத்தை இலங்கைக்கு வழங்க வேண்டும் என அவர் குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். வெளி அழுத்தங்களை பிரயோகிக்காமல் அந்த சந்தர்ப்பத்தினை இலங்கைக்கு வழங்க வேண்டும் என்று அதன்போது உரையாற்றிய இலங்கையினுடைய அமைச்சர் மஹிந்த சமரசிங்க குறிப்பிட்டிருந்தார். ஆக மொத்தத்திலே இலங்கை தொடர்பிலே ஐக்கிய நாடுகள் சபையினுடைய மனித உரிமைகள் பேரவையில் அமெரிக்காவினால் கொண்டு வரப்பட்டுள்ள பிரேரணைக்கு ஆதரவாக 24 வாக்குகளும் எதிராக 15 வாக்குகளும் அளிக்கப்பட்டிருந்த அதே வேளையிலே இந்த பிரேரணையினுடைய வாக்களிப்பிலே 8 நாடுகள் பங்கேற்றிருக்கவில்லை.
මානව හිමිකම් කවුන්සිලේ 19 වන සැසිවාරයේදී ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවලිය මිට ටික වෙලාවකට කලින් සම්මත වුණා. යෝජනාවට පක්ෂව ඡන්ද 24ක් ප්‍රකාශ වුණා. ඊට විරුද්ධව ඡන්ද 15ක් ප්‍රකාශ වුණා. රටවල් 8ක් ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකී සිටියා. NDTV මිට ටික වෙලාවකට පෙර වාර්තා කරමින් කියා සිටියේ ඉන්දියාව මේ යෝජනාවට ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවට පක්ෂව ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කළ බව. කොමුණත් මෙහිදී ශ්‍රී ලංකා නියෝජිත කණ්ඩායමේ ප්‍රධානී අමාත්‍ය මහින්ද සමරසිංහ මහතා ඔහුට ලැබුණු අවස්ථාවේදී අදහස් දක්වමින් ප්‍රකාශ කර කියා සිටියේ මෙවැනි යෝජනාවලියක් සම්මත වීම සංහිඳියාවක් සඳහා වන ක්‍රියාවලියකට රුකුලක් නොවන බව අමාත්‍යවරයා කියා සිටියා. ඔහු පෙන්වා දුන්නා සංවිධානාත්මක ආකාරයෙන් කටයුතු කරමින් මානව හිමිකම් කවුන්සිලය පිරිසක් විසින් නොමග යවා ඇති බවත් අමාත්‍යවරයා පෙන්වා දුන්නා. ඔහු අවධාරණය කර කියා සිටියේ වීදුරු ගෙවල් තුල සිට ගල් ගැසීමෙන් වැළකී සිටින ලෙස ඔහු එම අවවාදය සභාවට දෙන බවත් එහිදී අමාත්‍ය මහින්ද සමරසිංහ මහතා එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ මානව හිමිකම් කවුන්සිලයේ 19 වන සැසිවාරයේ අමතමින් කියා සිටියා. කෙසේ වෙතත් මේ වන විට ඡන්ද විමසීම සිදු වී අවසන්. එහිදී අවසන් ප්‍රතිඵලය ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරමින් නිවේදනය කළ මානව හිමිකම් කවුන්සිලයේ 19 වන සැසිවාරයේ සභාපතිනිය ප්‍රතිඵලය නිවේදනය කළ ප්‍රතිඵලයට අනුව රටවල් 24ක් ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවට පක්ෂවත්, රටවල් 15ක් ඊට විරුද්ධවත්, රටවල් 8ක් ඊට ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකීමෙනුත් සිටි බව තමයි ඇය නිවේදනය කළේ. මහිනා.
Yes, Gan, as you were saying, 24 countries voted for the resolution that was brought by the US on Sri Lanka, while 15 countries voted against it and 8 countries abstained from voting. According to NDTV, India had voted for the resolution that was brought on Sri Lanka at the 19th United Nations Human Rights Council session in Geneva. We took a look at the views expressed by Minister Mahinda Samarasinga, the head of the Sri Lankan delegation. He made a very strong statement where he said that certain countries were selectively targeting Sri Lanka and that the facts in Sri Lanka were being distorted and they were misinforming the Council and the world at large about what's been happening in Sri Lanka. And he also gave an advice at the Council where he said that those who live in glass houses should exercise caution before throwing stones. And he also said that it was unacceptable owing to the continuous development and the sustainable reconciliation that has been taking place in Sri Lanka. So the outcome of the debate that took place this afternoon at the UNHRC session in Geneva was that 24 votes were cast in favor of the resolution that was brought by the United States on Sri Lanka, while 15 votes were cast against and 8 countries abstained from voting for the resolution. Well, let's now take a look at some of the comments made by Minister Mahinda Samarasinha on this resolution and the outcome of the resolution.
After 30 long years of instability and violence, we have achieved stability and peace. We need to be given time to further consolidate the clear progress that has been achieved in a short period of 3 years. Madam President, it is against this backdrop that my country is compelled to face a misconceived, unwarranted and ill-timed draft resolution which embodies several harmful elements that clearly violate important principles that will have adverse ramifications not only for my country but many other countries in the future. This is why, Madam President, we took a decision on a matter of principle that we will not accept such a resolution in an endeavour to also ensure that a bad precedent is not established by this Council. The way in which we deal with this matter today will decide whether or not purely parochial, if not political, agendas far removed from the promotion and protection of human rights will be permitted to prevail.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නියෝජිත කණ්ඩායමේ ප්‍රධානී අමාත්‍ය මහින්ද සමරසිංහ මහතා එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ මානවිකම් කවුන්සිලේ 19 වන සැසිවාරයේ අමතමින් කළ කතාව ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ යෝජනා ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාව අද මානවිකම් කවුන්සිලේ 19 වන සැසිවාරයේදී සම්මත වුණා. එහි අවසන් ප්‍රතිඵලය මානවිකම් කවුන්සිලේ සභාපතිනිය නිවේදනය කළ පරිදි යෝජනාවට පක්ෂව ඡන්ද 24කුත් විරුද්ධව ඡන්ද 15කුත් ලැබී තිබුණා. රටවල් 8ක් ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකී සිටියා. ඊට විරුද්ධව යෝජනාවට විරුද්ධව ඡන්දය දුන් රටවල් අතර කියුබාව, රුසියාව, චීනය, ඉක්වදෝරය, චෙක් ජනරජය, කිර්ගිස්තානය, තායිලන්තය, මාලදිව සහ ඉන්දුනීසියාව විශේෂයි. උගන්ඩාව සහ බංග්ලාදේශය ඡන්දය දීමෙන් වැළකී සිටින බව ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටියා. ඔවුන්ට ලැබී තිබූ අවස්ථාවේදී NDTV මාධ්‍යමීට ටික වේලාවකට පෙර වාර්තා කළ පරිදි ඉන්දියාව ඇමරිකා එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ඉදිරිපත් කළ යෝජනාවට පක්ෂවයි මෙහිදී ඡන්දය ප්‍රකාශ කර තිබුණේ. රැඳී සිටින නිවුස් ෆස්ට් සමගින් අප සූදානම් මේ පිළිබඳ තොරතුරු ඔබ වෙත ගෙනෙන්නට.